Welcome to another edition of Game Day, Rams fans. I'm Brendan.
And I'm Marcus. Before we analyze this week's matchup, let's see how the Rams played in their last regular season game.
Last Friday, the Rams took on the Oakmont Vikings. Coming out in the first drive, Casa decided to kick a field goal with Michael Povey to steal some early game points. Now, Oakmont has the ball, and when the ball is caught, Dusty Dutra is there to cause the fumble. CJ Trent recovers it. Casa with the ball back, Peyton gets forced out of the pocket and slings the ball down the field where Angel Tenorio is wide open for the reception and takes it down to the 10-yard line. A few plays later, the Rams give the ball to him again on a fly sweep and he extends his arm out for the touchdown. With the score tied 10-10 at halftime, Rams fans were ready for a big play to get Casa started. If it's a big play they want, a big play they will get as Peyton Wilfley keeps the ball, runs up the gut, and puts it in for a Casa-able touchdown. On the next offensive drive, Peyton dumps the screen pass off to Jake Harris, who sprints outside for a 20-yard gain. The Rams are now in the red zone, and after 3 consecutive PI penalties, Peyton throws a perfect dime to Angel Tenorio, who catches it one-handed for a Casa touchdown. But Casa's offense isn't done yet. Joker Romine runs down the hash, and he has to focus on the ball big time through the defender's hands and in his zone for a touchdown, sealing up the 31-24 win over Oakmont.
Alright, Casa, the regular season is over and the Rams have made it to the first round of playoffs. This week they're on the road and play the Rosemont Wolverines. Offensively, Rosemont has a well-balanced set and can run or pass the ball effectively. Number 10, Buddy Enriquez, is the Wolverines quarterback. He is their passing threat and has thrown a total of 21 touchdowns this season to receivers like number 16, Daniel Tabaratinov, and number 33, Deshaun Allen. Deshaun also accounts for 8 touchdowns rushing, so he is one of the versatile players that the Wolverines have to offer. But speaking of running, junior running back Eddie Ortiz is Rosemont's main rushing attack. He has a 5'10" frame, so Casa's defense is really going to have to square up against him so that he can't juke them out. All of these players are what has given Rosemont a total of 55 offensive touchdowns.
On the defensive side of Rosemont, you can expect to see an even 4-2 front backing it up with a cover 1. This is the first week in a while the Rams won't have to deal with a blitzing overhang coming every play, which should take some pressure off the quarterback, opening the door to some new playmaking opportunities. Even though they don't send overhangs, Rosemont's defense has still managed to have 28 sacks this season. Hopefully the Rams won't contribute to another one. Casarobles' offense should also have a little more time for plays to develop tonight. Okay, let's go and see what Casa's offense has to offer in this week's player profile, Angel Tenorio.
Angel Tenorio, senior captain wide receiver for the Casa Robles Rams. He stands at 5'11" and weighs 185 pounds. He has 54 catches on the season with 700 plus receiving yards, 7 receiving touchdowns, and 1 rush touchdown. He's also this week's player profile.
I'm Angel Tenorio. I've been playing football for 4 years now, since freshman year. I play receiver, starting receiver for Casa Robles Rams.
Angel wasn't always just a receiver. During his high school career, he actually played 2 positions, but when varsity came along, he had to make a decision between one or the other.
In my earlier years of football, I've actually played both ways. A lot of linebacker. It was fun. And then once I got to varsity, it was just like I was put in receiver because I could block. But then, I once started showcasing my abilities and what I could do when I had the ball.
To Angel, football wasn't just a 2-hour event after school. It actually helped him in his day-to-day life.
Football was really just there to help me through things. Like, if I was feeling down a day, I know I could go maybe call Peyton and throw with him. It would just lift my mood and just take my mind off of things for a while.
Angel understood that in order to be great at the game, he had to put in lots of hard work, and that's exactly what he did.
It was a lot of work in the off-season with Peyton throwing with him constantly, calling each other, hey, let's throw at tempo, because we live right down the street from each other. We had that opportunity to do that almost every day.
Angel Tenario has a deep love for the game and holds his team to high expectations as well as himself. He works hard during the season and even harder during the offseason because he wants nothing more than to be successful.
I think if you don't have that dedication to work as hard as you can every day to get better, you won't be the best that you can be. And you know, with the sports you play, and if you really love that sport, you should always be the best that you can be and always strive to be that way.
As tough a sport as football can be, Angel recognizes it for what it truly is, a fun game to play.
For me, football is just all about fun, really.
Senior captain wide receiver Angel Tenario plans to finish this season out with a bang.
Now, it's time to go over to Michael Povey and see what Coach Ryan has to say in this week's Coach's Corner.
Good morning, Casa Roble, and welcome to Coach's Corner. I'm your host, Michael Povey, and with me I've got varsity head coach Norm Ryan. Thank you for being here, Coach.
Hey, glad to be here. It's a special week.
Hey, great win at Oakmont last week, 31-24. Take me what was going through your head. I mean, what happened? What was going on the field when that clock hit zero?
When that clock hit zero, we knew we were in the playoffs, and the seniors had defeated Oakmont, so their senior night didn't matter to them. That was a big win for the seniors, beating Oakmont for the first time.
You know, Rams now finished the regular season 7-3, and regardless of the postseason, I mean, this is a huge turnaround from last year with us being 1-9. I mean, have you, in general, just had a good year with these kids?
It's been a great group. They've worked really hard, even though they were 1-9. We know that really wasn't their record. It was a better record than that. It's just the way that things worked out last year. But it's been a group that never gave up. It's worked hard and expects to make a run now in the playoffs.
And defensively speaking, have you tweaked anything in practice this week to help try to contain some of the playmakers that they might have?
Well, I've got a couple of really good running backs, and we've been focusing on them, and one really good, fast wide receiver. So we spent all the time focusing on those three people. The quarterback, although small, is pretty quick, so we hope to get our hands up and get in his face and get after him. So the defense is going to give the ball to the offense as much as possible so they can score as many points as possible.
That's exactly what we want. And, you know, coaching-wise, I mean, do the Rams really know that they have to take every team one by one by one? And do you think they're mentally ready to handle this first playoff game?
Well, you never know until you actually get to Rosemont what your players are thinking. You hope that they're focused, and we've had a good week of practice, and we'll see when we get there. I think everybody wants another one of these, and that's always, like I said, the first hurdle, the first step is at Rosemont. We need a big crowd. We need lots of people there cheering us on.
Well, let's hope these Rams can take on these Wolverines and take on that first playoff win at W. Thank you for being here, Coach.
Thanks for having us.
And back to you, Brendan.
Thanks, Michael. Some key questions for the night. Deshaun Allen, this offensive stud is both a rushing attack as well as a deep threat. So can Cass's defense stop him both ways? Rosemont's quarterback, Buddy, is only 5'7" and weighs 145 pounds. So how will he last throughout the game, being pounded by Cass's big linemen? And finally, coaching. Rosemont is a very well-coached team, as well as Casa. So will it be a battle of the coaches tonight? Okay, Marcus, Rosemont wins it.
Well, Brendan, Rosemont wins if they can successfully run a balanced offense and keep the Rams defense on their heels. Also, the Wolverines could grind this one out if they can add to their season total of sacks by putting the pressure on Cass's quarterback, Peyton Wolfley. Brendan, Casa wins if...
Casa wins if they can defensively crush Rosemont's quarterback, and if their offensive linemen give the offensive plays time to develop. That does it for today, Casa. Be sure to come out to Rosemont High School this Friday at 7 o'clock to watch the Rams dominate